Great, we are live.
That's how we know.
So good morning or good afternoon.
Hey there.
As you know me, I'm Rita Mind, the creator of Journeys into the Subconscious Mind, and also of several workshops and an online show. And today, my guest speaker is Natasha Berta.
Hello.
And I would like to let her present herself.
Awesome. Thanks, Rita. I have a business called Connected Marketing, and I help multi-passionate, intuitive women who are running a business online. Sometimes they already have a business in person and they want to expand into online work. And sometimes they just have a pure online business. And mostly I help those women to grow their business. And that can be with tech help, sometimes with websites or social media and advertising. And sometimes it ends up being more mindset work. And I don't have a strict program or one way that I help people with mindset. I just have done a lot of mindfulness practice, and I just seem to be able to help people with that. I just seem to be able to hear and notice when they're saying something that seems like maybe it's a limiting belief, or, you know, like I just have like a intuitive radar for people's funny stories that they tell themselves.
Okay, I see. It's a group session?
I do things one-on-one, and I also have a group program. Yeah, so I have some courses as well. So I work with people in lots of different ways. I do a bit of done-for-you work. So sometimes I'll just build a website for somebody, or I'll just set up their email system for them. And then other times I work with them in a one-on-one call. And then other times I run courses, which is groups of people online. And then I have a group program, which is, groups of people online. And sometimes I do in-person things where I live. I live in New South Wales in Australia. And so sometimes here I might run workshops or things like that in person, but mostly I like hanging out online.
Okay, I see. And when you create website, you create them from A to Z, or you are showing them how to create the website?
There's just no one or the other with me, is there? No, I do a bit of everything. Sometimes people come with a website and they want it sort of like renovated. So I might just work through page by page. And sometimes people just want a little bit fixed. And then other times people want something built from scratch. So I've done all of those. I'm pretty adaptable, actually, when it comes to all of that stuff. And there's some things I just say no to, but mostly I feel like I can help people in varied ways.
I see. So it should be more one-on-one when you are working on technical stuff, and when it's about mindset, it could be group sessions.
Even then, I think sometimes with people one-on-one, I work on mindset stuff, and then sometimes I do tech in groups. So yeah, if I'm building a website with someone, it's probably not so much mindset stuff because that's a different kind of project. But yeah, there's a big mixture for me. It seems to come in a few different ways. I think ultimately with marketing and growing your business, like we kind of have a front, don't we? It's like, oh, I work with people on marketing, but ultimately there's something that happens when people come in contact with each other and there's a transformation. And I think people just encounter me online and they know at some level that I'm a vehicle for growth and change for them. And it sort of doesn't matter. Like they might think they're coming for a website and we might end up talking about something completely different. I kind of like that.
Okay. And how did you discover your passion for working online and working with the business owners?
Yeah, I'm in year 7 now of my business, which is pretty amazing to me.
Wow.
I didn't really think I was going to have a business because my mum had a business and my partner had a business. And I worked, as an employee for people who had businesses, and I just thought, there's no way I want to be in business. But I ended up in business because there aren't that many jobs in where I live in Bega for marketing. And I did Takeoff with Tash actually. And I was able to start my business from there, running really low cost sessions and just kept adapting and adjusting. And yeah, it's been a long while now, it seems. So I guess I did a degree thinking I was going to get a job. And I don't know if it's really a passion. I don't really have a passion for technology, but I do have a passion for personal growth and like the spiritual aspect of life. And I find that being in business is a really in your face transformative experience. Like I find that we all get triggered a lot, and you know, it really pushes us to grow in ways that we would not encounter if we were an employee and we were just living a sort of 9-to-5 job. Somehow being in business is a catalyst for so much discomfort and change. And I am really passionate about that. And I've been passionate about that my whole life.
Of course, I think it's also easier for the family to be there with your children.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are reasons why business seems appealing, and definitely being able to be available for family responsibilities was a major draw card for me. Like that was a big thing, that I wanted to be available to get the kids to school and pick them up in the afternoon. And they go to a Rudolf Steiner school, so I love going down and volunteering and being part of the community. So that was a big reason why I wanted a business. So it's been like a long learning process of remembering that that was the reason why I wanted a business, because for a while I fell so in love with my business that was at the front for me, and I was sacrificing my health and I was sacrificing family time because I was just so obsessed with my business. And so over time I've learned to put my business more into a container and allow my own self-care and my family to be at the front, and then business, because I do love my business, and I would do it all the time because I just love it. And I've had to learn to look after myself first. Yeah.
I think most of the women do this. They start with a job, then they go in business, then they are extremely passionate about. And in the end, they find the right balance between the personal life, family life, business. And Natasha, you mentioned something about alternative approaches showing up online.
Yeah, I think in the 7 years of being in business, I've tried lots of different marketing strategies. And even though I have a marketing degree, and that's why I started initially in my business, I would say I'm a marketing consultant. But I guess the marketing that you learn at university is more angled towards making you an employee in a large organization. So even though I have some training in that information, being an entrepreneur is different. And in the online space, there are lots of people who are really good at selling stuff, and they're telling us, this is how you succeed in business. You need to follow this launch strategy, do this niching, buy my program, write this book, or you need a signature program and you need to post every day online. So I feel like as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of noise coming at us, telling us how we should do it. And in the last couple of years, I feel that I've been peeling off a lot of those layers and learning how to reveal my true soul rhythm of being in business, and unlearning all of that stuff and letting all the noise go, and trying to reveal more of who I am authentically, like who I really am, and being brave enough to just show up as my weird self with, imperfect hair and with or without makeup or in whatever bed clothes, just however it is that I show up in that moment, and let go of a lot of conditioning of as a woman, how I should show up. I need to look like this, or, I need to get dressed, or I need to be skinnier, or all these excuses of what we need to do before we can start being ourselves. So yeah, that's something I'm really enjoying at the moment, is learning how to be more myself and learning to be more brave to show that, because that's what makes people endeared to each other. I think when we're very vulnerable and we're very real, that's when other people really see us, and it ignites something in them, like adoration and connection ultimately. And when they see someone just showing up as they are, having a laugh, making mistakes, they see, oh, well, if she's doing that, then I can do that too. And it inspires people. So I'm loving that. And having some blinkers on and trying to remember that I have a good strategy, and ignoring all those good marketers and not buying any of their stuff, basically. Just try to have a mentor that I trust and a strategy that I'm happy with, and stay really focused on delivering really good quality to my clients without getting distracted by all the noise.
I totally understand this. I was exactly in the same situation. I think we are, even here in France, we learn in university how to work in the corporate world, how to do marketing, how to follow several steps. When it's about creating your own business or side business, everybody starts talking about funnel marketing, creating a website, sending a newsletter every day, making a post every day, and so on and so forth. And there are days when you have nothing to say. There are other days you would like to make 2 or 3 posts on Facebook because you have lots of things to say.
Yeah. I mean, it is helpful. Like, I have been making consistent actions in my business all this time. And so that's why I'm still in business. It does require consistency, but I don't think that means you have to post every day. For instance, I take school holiday breaks with my kids. So for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I haven't been making any social media content. And then I come back and I just start again, and it's okay. And we all get to decide how we want our business to nurture us. And those rules, sure, maybe it is better if I just show up every day, but I'm a human, I'm not a corporation. So I have to do it in a way that nourishes me and is sustainable. And the same for all of us.
Even in corporation, I think they don't work on Saturdays and Sundays, unless there is a machine, a robot posting for them.
Exactly. And I think what I love is working with people to really discover what is their unique strategy. Not that if people work with me, I'm going to tell them to do it my way. I really don't like that. And often some people want me to tell them, like, what should you post on Instagram, or what should you put in your email? People want me to tell them what to do. And I think that reminds me of when I was younger and I wanted to abdicate my responsibility. I think it's part of the programming of being a school student, and it's part of a really authoritarian parenting approach, like that you will sit back and the grown-ups will tell you what to do, or the teacher will tell you what to do. And I dislike that, because when I used to be like that, my life got really, really pear-shaped, and it just didn't go well. Like, I experienced a lot of unpleasant situations because I was letting other people decide for me. And so whenever I see somebody wanting me to be that role for them, to tell them what to do, I just get alarm bells in my head and I don't want to tell them anything at all. Instead, I'd rather support them to run their own experiments and then reveal what is true for them and their business. And that's really uncomfortable, but that's okay.
Sometimes it's even difficult to find the connection between your story and your business.
Mm.
If you want to make videos, posts, we tend to see no connection between them. And actually, if you think better about it, you find it.
Yeah.
And
I think
it's so pitiful not to share the story.
Yeah. And it's the doing has to come first before we have clarity. That people would like to start their business and fill in a form they're going to say what they care about and what their business does. And then some brand consultant's going to tell them, this is your message and this is, your brand. But what I've found is that if we simply go through the process of sharing what we care about through written articles or podcasts or however we do it best, if we like writing or speaking or whatever we like, videos, the doing has to come first. And then after some period, you can look back and see, oh, of those 20 blogs I wrote, 5 of them were about topic A and 8 of them were about topic B. And I can see now when I look back at what I like writing that these are the themes for me. But it's hard to decide that first and then try and squash yourself into that container. It doesn't allow you to flourish. I think just let yourself flourish and just talk about what you feel passionate about. And then over time, you can make sense of that.
Yeah, I remember when I was a few years ago, I was a totally beginner in blogging. And I heard in a webinar that I should choose 10 topics of blogs. This was for bloggers, entrepreneurs, that we should pick 10 topics and test them and create a blog for every topic and see what works better.
Yeah.
And I was also in a full-time job, and I was wondering, how would I do this? Test 10 ideas at the same time and doing something like Wikipedia, Google.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes people have achieved success in their own business and then they assume to teach other people that is the way to succeed. And I think sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. I like to take inspiration from other people and I'm always interested in how other people do it. But ultimately, over time, I've tried to narrow, look at me, I'm like the horse again with the blinkers. I'm trying to keep it more narrow now. And I have a few people that I think consider to be my mentor that I would take advice from. And then I try to shut out all the other noise because otherwise I get really overwhelmed and scattered.
Of course. And then when you do mistakes, there are always some people who won't like it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think even then, sometimes it's really good if people don't like it. It's really, I think when a piece of content comes or an opinion comes from someone and it's strong and they're in their power, if it creates opposition, I think that's helpful because I'd rather serve a small group of people who I get along with really well than try to serve millions of people and have to modify who I am, because that really puts me out of alignment. It's very tiring. I can only fake for so long who I am. And in the end, I'd rather just show up as myself in the first place and then find people to work with who, when we meet in a call, they already feel like they know me because I was just acting like myself. And yeah, it's just much easier, I find, just to be yourself. Although there can be some sort of like healing or energy blocks that need to be cleared so that we can show up, because especially as women, we've been oppressed for so many thousands of years to not be seen, not be heard. So for women particularly, I think there needs to be maybe some energy clearing or work done so that we can show up and be visible. And if a woman maybe feels that they were a witch or have, in a past life, and they have some clearing around that, there's like all these weird layers of stuff that might be making it hard for us to be brave enough to be ourselves.
Talking about spiritual growth,
All
what
of that.
connection do you find between spiritual growth and the business?
Well, I think that if you want to grow as a person, the business is the best way to do it, because it's moving outside that authoritarian approach. I mean, you can either be the victim of that or be an oppressor of that. So if you're in business, you're stepping outside that model completely and just running your own show. You know, you are the boss and you are the employee. And I think that cracks people open, and it's more risky. And I think it's a great opportunity to look at yourself and try and grow through that process.
Okay, I see. So now, Natasha, we are almost our 20 minutes. Just before leaving and ending this interview, if people want to reach you, where can they find you?
Yeah, thank you. I have a website called connectedmarketing.com.au. So there's lots of info there. I love hanging out on Instagram. And again, that's Connected Marketing AU. And that's a great place to hang out and connect, because I post there as much as I can. I have a podcast. All of that stuff is linked from my website. So I'd love to stay connected there. Or people can comment on this live in Facebook or on YouTube or wherever they find us and say hi. I'd love to say hi.
I would add a link to your website.
Sure, thanks.
And to Instagram too.
Thank you.
On YouTube, I will add this in the description and on the comments here on Facebook. I think it's best.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely chatting today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Pleasure. I'll see you soon.
See you.